Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura. We have Bunny next door. This is our last show of the day, and it is only the second look at the winter collar card shape die that we have here. It is item number 250615. It's on a show price for you of $39.99, which will go back up at midnight tonight. You've got the QR code there as well if you want to scan that, or you can type in winter collar card shape on the website. It's actually on the main page of the website as well, so really easy to find that on there. We did one show with this morning. It was our first show at 10 a.m. and already 75% of the stock has gone, so it has been really popular with everybody at home, and I'm not surprised at all. It's such a usable die in its own right, and any and every Christmas collection that you have is going to work with this. So you've got all of your dies, you've got such intricate panels in here with those berries built in, and you do have elements to decorate these with as well. If I just bring that down, look at those with those mats and layers on there. It looks absolutely incredible. And you also have your charisma for these as well. So you've got your artwork there for the bell and for your mistletoe. And these I absolutely adore because you can pop them together and it looks like a bow, like either side of the bow that you can bring together, which looks amazing. I will show you some of the samples. Janine has made these, and what I love about how she's done these actually is showing you different ways that you can actually build these cards. So you can have it like this, so where the card is open. You can have one where, I don't think I've got one here where it closes. Let me grab one sec. So you can have one like this, which is how it has been designed. So you've got the front mechanism there, and then you open this up, so you can see how amazing that looks like that. So there's two different designs that you can do on the cards. Now you could just use the middle panel on its own and make something like this. So you've just cut away those side bits and you've got that middle panel there. Now you could do that exact same thing again, but cut away this top bit, and then you're going to have something like that. So you've got that one there. Then you can just use this top bit and cut this bit away, and you can have something like that. Or you could again use that whole center part to make something like this. So you can see that. So you've got that one. Now the other thing you could do is use those side pieces to make something like that. So, and this is the tree from our Wondrous Tidings collection. We did have that on the craft along earlier if you missed that. And then I'm going to bring this one in as well. So this is the exact same design using those side pieces, but look, just you are loved. How amazing is that? So going completely away from the Christmas theme, and then I'm going to bring this one in as well. So and the only thing that's been left out is those intricate panels of the detail panels to go on there. So you could just use those matte layers on their own to build into your collections like this. So you've got that card shape to use in different ways. So like this one, exactly the same, but you can see you've got those panels on there. Works amazing for Christmas. But then just leave those panels out and look at that card that you could use all year round. And then same thing again, you could also use it like that as well. So you've got that there, and you could pop a sentiment in the center or have it like that, which just looks absolutely amazing. So that's just showing you a couple of examples of different ways that you can use the winter collar card shape. So just some different ideas there for you. So let's get into a demo. Now I've cut out the base for the card straight away. You're going to see such a big die straight away. Now if you're going to use it, you can see you're going to decorate the front, and then you've got the inside, or if you wanted them open, so you want it to stand like that, you've got those panels there. You can see you've got the cut lines. It adds the score lines in for you as well, so you don't need to worry about the score lines. Right, now I'm going to flip this round because we are going to do it how it was intended to be done. Now the way I find easiest to do this is to just grab, let's move them, your panels that are going to fit on. So pop that one there. And then I will just place them where they're going, so I can kind of gauge how much of a gap is between each one. So let's just move these. What am I? Oh, there. My little corner pieces. I knew I was missing something. So I've got that one's going to go there. And where's the other corner piece? There. Hiding under everything. So I will just pop those like that, so I can kind of gauge how much room I've got in between each panel. So I'm going to just add the bottom ones on with glue. So I can see that's going to sit about there, and I can see then I've got like an even space in that gap there. So it's just the way I find easiest to do it. I'm going to do the same on this side. So somebody has messaged us in. Diane has messaged asking what size is the card when it's closed for the purpose of envelopes. So I'll stick these on, and then I'll fold it closed, and then we'll measure the card shape for you. So let's pop some foam on here. We're going to raise this one up just to add in some different levels in these layers. My foam tip wants to come off. So add that there, and then add some tape on this one. We've also had a message of Karen saying good afternoon everybody. Afternoon, Karen. I hope you are all well. I feel like everybody will just be sat watching with like a cup of tea and a biscuit. It's like your afternoon snack time, isn't it? It's not sunny today. It looks quite miserable outside, doesn't it? Really miserable. Yes, it's the day that you want to just be sat by your crafting, all your crafting collections, and just sit there and not have to leave the house. It's gone really miserable the last couple of days. What I don't like is 1 minute you can look outside and you think, oh, it's going to brighten up, and then the next minute you look outside and it's raining, and then the next minute you look outside and the sun's shining. And it's like, what's going on? Right, so I've got my different layers there. What I'll do, look, is I'll just measure this now so I don't forget. So we'll close that up. Let's grab a ruler. So this part here is going to be the widest part because that comes slightly out. So if we measure from that side to there, so from there to there is 14 centimeters, and then that's going to be just your normal A4. Would it go in just a normal 20? I wonder if it would fit in just a normal. We need one sec, let me grab a piece of paper. If I grab a sheet of card. Oh my gosh, I've just happened to just grabbed any random piece of card and it's Christmas. It's like it was meant to be. Right, so if you were crafting and you had your, because I feel like this is a normal size card base, isn't it? Your A4. Right, so that's your, obviously, A4 piece of card folded in half. And then if I pop that on top of it, so your absolutely your normal size envelopes would fit in there. Yeah, it would fit really nice in there, because by the time you add in, you know, some bits like there, like that, you've got that extra room to pop them in. So who was it that asked? Diane. I hope that helps, Diane. Right, so let's flip this back around. So we've got our base layer down, and now we're going to go in with our next layer. So I've got the darker green. The perfect papers I'm using are from the Wondrous Tidings collection, and we are going to pop these in. So these now, we've got the lighter green there, and again from the Wondrous Tidings, and then I've cut out white to go on there. So we're going to pop these in. So I'm just going to add some. Oh, Diane's messaged back saying that was perfect, thank you. So glad we could help. So I'll pop that one onto there. And then we'll pop that one on there. I always find it hard trying to gauge the size. I think I like that we use, because we use the same mat every single time, you kind of have an idea of the size, yeah, because otherwise it can be quite hard. And there's nothing worse than when you order something and it comes, and then, like, it's happened to me a couple of times where I've ordered something and I think, oh, that's going to be so good, and it comes and it's literally like a quarter of the size that I thought it was going to be. And then you're like, and yeah, no, that's not gonna work for what I wanted it to work. Right, where's my other? Right, so we've got this one, then there's gonna, oh, I've got a little bit left in there. I'll pop it up in a minute. That's gonna go on there. And then I've got another one to go on the corner. That is just going to set on there like that. So we'll add these in. Let's move that back. And then we'll just raise this one up again. So we've got some different layers in there. Do the same with this one. So if you add in some foam tape, especially in between your layers, it can make such a difference, just getting some height in between those layers, and they really make those layers stand out as well. So it can always makes a difference. So pop that one in there. Add that in, and then add these two corner panels, so you can see every part of the card is beautifully decorated. You don't have to worry about trying to cover anything at all. If I put that up. So Bunny's just said, because if you missed the earlier show, one of the things we were saying was you could snip this away or use the aperture dies to have that smaller aperture, and you could put pictures in it. So if you were somebody that sends Christmas pictures, family pictures at Christmas time, you could pop the picture in there. But Bunny's just said you could use that to actually just pop some of your characters in, so it looks like the characters are coming out. That's a lovely idea. So now we've got the outside of our card ready to go, so you can see what that looks like. So now we're going to do the middle bit, so we're going to do the inside now. So I'm going to start with the same dark card. So I'm doing the exact same mats and layers that I did on the outside. Obviously we're just going to replicate that on the inside, and we're going to do this. Now one thing I like about this this card base is you can actually just cut out. So what I did was decided, you know, what layer, what color I wanted the very back layer to be, and then you can just cut them like on an A4 die cutting machine. You can cut all of those outside layers, so the inside and the outside, in one go. So in one pass you've got all of those layers ready to go. So then you can do that, pop the next layer in, which I've done in that lighter green, and then you've got all of your next layers ready to go. So it's efficient, yeah, to do it, because then you can just pop all of them in one go and get them stuck down while you've got the other ones running through. So I'll add in some foam tape now to this layer. So again, just replicating the layer that we've got at the front. So I've got that darker green with that lovely snowflake design on in the back, and then I've got that lighter green there then at the front, and then that intricate design here with the, it's mistletoe, is it, that's built in here, is gonna go on there like that. And then we do the exact same thing. Let's stick this in. And then we can pop that on there like that. And then just run some tape on the back of there. And then we can pop that down. And then as easy as that, we've essentially decorated the whole front of our card and the inside, which looks amazing and does look as if we've spent a lot of time, you know, making all of these layers, when actually it hasn't taken us much time at all, because obviously we're die cutting all of these in one go, and the dies are doing everything for us. We don't need to worry about trying to measure anything, work anything out. Everything is done. So we've got the inside and the outside, and how amazing does that look? Just like that. It looks so different. It catches your, it really does draw your eye in straight away without even doing anything at all. Now I've got lots of different elements here we're going to build in, so let's go in with right, let's do the inside bit first. So inside I'm gonna add the mistletoe. Now these I think just look absolutely adorable, and when you pop them together it just looks like a little bow, which I just think looks so cute, doesn't it? So you could pop that on there. So we're going to have that there like a hanging. Okay, so we've had a message of Christine asking if there are any background papers to go with the winter collar card shape. So there aren't any background papers. So the die itself, you've got the intricate design there of the mistletoe. So it's been designed to be used like this with your perfect papers or any cardstock that you want. Equally, you could use any, you know, if we're going just for Christmas, you could use any of the background papers from other Christmas collections that we have. You know, we used the Wondrous Tidings collection earlier, anything like that, you know, any of your Christmas colours you can absolutely use it for, but it doesn't have specific background papers for it. You do get the charisma, you do get the artwork for the bells and the mistletoe. So what I've just used there, you get that. So you can see there what they will look like. So you do have the download for them, but not for a specific background paper. But yeah, but background paper, you can use any background paper on there from a previous Christmas collection or any background papers you have at home, or just background colours as well. You can absolutely use those. So I hope that helps. Right, now I am using the Merry Christmas die from the Wondrous Tidings collection that comes in the card shape. So you can see it there. So using the same colorways that we've got there in the background. And I think I'm going to pop that on the inside. I think I'm going to pop it just for there. So let that pop this one in. So pop that on there like that. And now we can do the outside. So we're going to decorate this bit. So I've got some of our foliage sprays here, which I absolutely, I think I'll be using these on any Christmas cards that I'm making going forward. They are absolutely stunning as well. They're so usable, and the fact you get them in different components as well. You've got the corner pieces, they just fit anywhere you want them to go. So that's going to go there and not, that's going to stay there. Right, and then I'm going to add in, do I add in, let me close that. Right, pop that there. Do we add in another one there? Or do we have that one there and have that one up there? That one. It's not going to stay. Things as crafters do. That's what we should do. One day when we're at the very start of the day, we'll ask people to message in with their like odd crafting technique, yeah, that they do, because I can imagine everybody has one and everybody's is completely different. Right, we're gonna add in, should we add him in there? I think he looks cute in there. So we add Oh, do you know what? We didn't even name our Robin's bunny. We didn't, did we? So we got that, like that, and then shall we bring him in there or leave him off? Yeah, think of the bells. We don't need him there, do we? Right. So if so we got the front, and then you got that inside as well. But that bit could just be the card on its own. So if you cut these two side panels off, and then equally you could just use those two side panels as cards on their own as well. So you've got so much versatility with this collection. It is just absolutely do wait for your for your glue to dry before you start manhandling them. But yeah, there's just so much versatility with this. We'll show you some. Should we show some other samples, or just so you can see it using them in? I'll just grab the ones that are different so we can just see the different ones. So you've got one like this, then you've got the center part, so just using that center compartment. So like that, where you've got the characters in the center, which just looks. Oh, Karen has messaged saying a stunning card that I just made. Thank you, Karen. Then we've got that one there, so you can see that is using the side panel on its own, and I'm just going to grab this one to put next to it because this one is actually using the same side panel but flipped upside down, so that the bottom bit is there, whereas this time they flipped it and the bottom bit's at the top. So a different way again of using the side panel, and then you've got using the top part on its own. You've got using just that middle panel to make the card, and then I got what last one of using that middle panel just as the card there itself. So there's lots of versatility with it, and like we said, just showing you some of those samples as well. Made not just for Christmas either, so don't think that you have to use them just for Christmas. You can mix and match. Let me just pull this back for you before you shout at me. There you go. There you go. I've put Bunny's card back, so now she's happy to go back. There you go. Oh. So, right, okay. Let me grab another. Let's grab a. Where have I got my demo? I put it back in the box. I think I'm going to put it back in the box. Right, let's do something. I'll do that one because that one's different. So let's do this one where we can do the middle part on its own. So then we've done one how it was, and then we can do this one then as well. So let's just move these, and then we can pop them in. So let's start with our panel. So I've got my card base. So you've got your base card. So exactly like we just started, you're going to grab your die, and you can see it's such a big die set. And then you're going to cut this out, and you can see you've got that middle panel. These are score lines be here as well. So you've got those score lines in there. So you just, where those score lines are, you're just going to cut them, so you've got that middle panel. So then you'll be left with that. So you've got that centerpiece there. So now we're going to just pop some glue on there, pop those together, and then we've got our card base. So let's just glue these. So I'll pop that in there. And then we got our base. So card base done. And then I've got, again, perfect papers from Wondrous Tidings. Okay, so we're going to add these in. So let's just glue this up. So we'll glue that back layer down. Glue that in. And then let's glue the top part in. And then let's pop that in there. So there, I think it would be such a lovely way of adding. You could even add, like, if you've got foiled acetate with snow, because you can have some with like a snow design on, you could add that in. There's so many different ways that you could utilize this as well. You could, oh, you know the wreath maker die set, you could add bits of that in to like build up your own wreath around that. I don't feel like I've convinced you, Bunny. She's like, yeah. Yeah. Alright, and let's add some tape on here. And then we can add these layers in. So let's pop this one in first. Oh, so we've had a message from Donna saying, beautiful cards, what size is the die itself? So if you click on the die on the website, it will go down to description and it'll have all the measurements, I think of each one, isn't it? Of each die on there, so it'll be able to tell you how big the die is. If you're thinking, do you need an A4 die cutting machine, you do. It's not going to fit through a smaller die cutting machine. If I, so there you go. So if I grab this, so this was the bit of card that I folded. So that's your A4 card there. And then if I grab the base, so this is the base die that you cut the card out of. So you definitely need the A4 cutting plates to be able to use that. It's not going to go through a smaller die cutting machine, if that was the reason for your question. Oh, and she said thank you, so I must have answered it in some way. Right, so we've got our 2 layers on there. Now I'm going to add in the mistletoe frames, because these are just, look how detailed they are. They look so incredible. I think these and this card, do you know, with the mistletoe, because obviously, like, you know, the mistletoe and like kissing under the mistletoe, I think these would be really nice for like winter wedding cards, because it's still like that nod to winter time with the mistletoe, but it's not like specific for Christmas. Right. So Bunny's just said that at the minute at weddings, there's a trend where you take Polaroid pictures. So you'll have the little printout, and you could put that behind, in between the mats and layers. So you've got that there, like a little memento. That's a nice idea. So there's just so many options with them of what you're going to do with them. Now, like I said, you've got the artwork there for the mistletoe and the bell, which I do have. Oh, stuck my finger. So we've got them there. And what else have I got? Right. So I've got a mat here. So this is going to be my sentiment. So before I stick this in, I just want to kind of gauge where they're going to go. So I'm going to stick these on the frame, on the archer like that. I might actually leave the bell off and just have them as if I put some glue on there and just pop them like that. Snip that back one off. And now you wouldn't know if that didn't come like that, like a bow. So we'll pop that in and we'll glue that there like that. So we'll have that like that hanging to that little archer bit. Just get rid of that because that's going to annoy me that you can see it, and that's all my eye would be drawn to. Right, so we've got our sentiment. So this is going to be the mat for our sentiment. Now what I want to do though is I want to place this on there like that. So let's glue this in. And then what would you do if I stuck the mat upside down and the wrong way around? I was just thinking like, oh, do I know that that's the right way now? Let's fill this. So I've popped that on there now. So I've got that foliage there and I just want to kind of bring it round a bit. So I'm going to add that in there. And then I'm going to bring this down more. So I'm going to add my pine cone in there like that. Add that in there. Some berries in. And then I'm just going to add in a couple of these little, are they feathers? They look like little feathers. I don't think they are. Leaf sprigs is what Bunny is telling me they are. Yeah, they would actually. Pop some of the foiling glue on there, and then you've got the edge that would have the foil on, and then let's add them there. Yeah, I think that's about okay. And then let's grab our Merry Christmas. Can you remember what set it was? Yes, we did. Somebody messaged in. Oh, I thought somebody messaged in about the sentiment, didn't I? Oh, maybe maybe I'm just making it up. Oh, I thought somebody. Oh, maybe it is. Then it was the frame. So I'll pop that on there. So we've got Merry Christmas using the same perfect papers that we've got in the background. So then I'm just going to use pin flare for this because I've used pin flare on that one, so I don't want to put foam on it and then squash the pin flare that's underneath. So if I use pin flare again, that will just stand out on there like that now. So now if I pick that up, you got your card there. So you can see how I've used the elements there from the winter collar card shape. We've got the card shape there using just that centerpiece from the card shape, so not the complete card shape at all. And then we've just added in elements there then from Wondrous Tidings and a sentiment that me and Bunny cannot remember where it has come from. It's obviously a Carnation Crafts one, but we can't remember the name of it. So if you're sat at home thinking, Laura, it's this collection, then please do let me and Bunny know, because me and Bunny cannot find it. We do not know. So do let us know if you know. Right, so let me pop that down. So you've got your winter collar card shaped dice there. Now we launched this morning, so we've only done one show with this, and we are 75% of the stock gone in this. So it has been extremely popular, which I'm not surprised. I think there's so much versatility in this collection. Like I've shown you with some of the samples, you can use it in so many different ways, not just in your Christmas crafting. You could use this all year round. Leave out that mistletoe, or like we were saying just now, you know, the mistletoe is a nice nod to Christmas but not overly Christmassy, so I feel you could use the mistletoe for wedding cards or maybe winter engagements or anything like that. You could absolutely use it in that way as well. Right, so we do this one like this because I feel like we haven't made one like that. Yeah, like this. So I feel like we haven't done one like that, have we? So let's do, and I got another sentiment, love, from the same set. Okay, Bunny's going to see if she can find it that way now. We'll find it. As soon as we come off air, you'll say, oh, I found it, is what will happen. Right, let's stick these together. So I'm going to pop these down first. I've got a dark brown. Again, these are from Wondrous Tidings, as are all of the... she's found them. They are from the Glow of Christmas collection. She's found it. You get warm wishes, Merry Christmas, and Christmas hugs and kisses. There you go. They're a lovely size as well. Really big size, so they will work with lots of your other collections as well. Well, I always have to try and find, because obviously I've cut these out and popped them in a bag ready for this. I always have to try and find those little triangle bits first, so I know they're there. Can I find the little triangle bit? No, I cannot. Oh, is that like it's still stuck to it? Ta-da! So I know it's in there. Right, let's pop these down. So we've got them. Got that centre part there. And let's add these in. Oh, so we've had a message of Daphne who's messaging saying, hi Laura, I had to get this die, it looks brilliant. Oh, Daphne, you will enjoy so much using it because it's such a lovely card shape that you can use in different ways. So, you know, when we've seen just using the centre bit or just using the ends. It's very versatile, which I feel like we all look at in our crafting, and I feel like we do always get that with carnation. They do give us versatility with our dyes. So we'll add in this one. And then last one, I'll pop in this corner piece there. So you can see I've already stuck the next layer on there, because I was like, I'm going to lose that if I just pop that in the box. So I have glued them together. So we'll add these in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's add those in. I love the colours on that. So really nice, like a beige and a brown. Yeah, these are from Wondrous Tidings too. Really nice. And it just goes to show as well, like sometimes, you know, when we do the shows, and I always say, you know, the perfect papers are just such lovely packs of cardstock to get. You know, regardless of if you're buying the collection, they're just such a lovely paper pack to get. You know, they die cut beautifully, you've got the smoothness of the cardstock, and you've got the fact that the colours inside the pack work together as well. So you don't have to worry about things like that. But you know, obviously when it does come with a collection, it does coordinate perfectly with that collection, but they are so useful just in their own right. Like I'm using all of the winter collar cards that I've made today. All of them I've used the perfect papers from Wondrous Tidings, even though Wondrous Tidings got nothing to do with this die set, but I've used them. So they're just such lovely packs of cardstock to get anyway on their own. So we'll pop that there. Oh, Daphne's messaged back saying that she has quite a collection of carnation card shapes. Oh, that's lovely. There are some nice ones. But I always feel with the card shape though, you know you're getting value for money as well, because you'll use it with so many collections. So it's not just like this one, you know, it's not just for Christmas. And even if you're looking at this and you think, maybe you only make Christmas cards, so you are looking at this and thinking, do you know what, I'm going to get that card shape for Christmas cards. When you've got a card shape, this is intricate and as eye-catching as this, you don't have to worry about going in with loads more. You could cut this out and pop a sentiment on it and you're done. And that could be it. You know, so it does, and especially for Christmas time, I feel like Christmas time is when we make the most cards that we ever make as card makers. So sometimes, you know, you do, you know, as bad as it sounds, but sometimes you do need to make a card in a hurry. But, you know, you don't want to make it, you don't want it to look like you've made it in a hurry. You know, something like this, you could just make quite easily. Like I've said, you know, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 passes of my die cutting machine. So you've got 1 pass for the base, 1 pass for all of the dark brown layers, 1 pass for that beige colour layer, and then another pass for the cream. So 4 passes of the die cutting machine and this card's done. And then you've just got the option then of if you want to add anything else to it, or you're just going to pop a sentiment onto it. And either way, it would look stunning. So we can pop that on there. No way. What, you knew that? Oh, right. The way you just went, yeah, as if like you knew. So we've just had a message off Chaz saying that she remembers when mistletoe was used on for Valentine's. I did not know this. And Bunny didn't know this either. That is. So why don't they use mistletoe? Oh, see, that's going to send me down a rabbit hole now of looking up mistletoe and Valentine's. Oh, see, I'm just picturing this card now in like red and gold and pink, and then just cut that centre bit. Oh, you could cut that bit out to give yourself the aperture. Then you could have like a picture of your Valentine in there. Oh, and then when it closes, it kind of almost, you could make it out to be like a heart. Oh, you've sent me down a rabbit hole now. It does as well. A slightly heart vibes. Oh, well, if we bring this back on at some point, I think I'll be making a Valentine's card. I'm so intrigued with that now. I wonder why they stopped using it for Valentine's. Yeah, it's pretty as well, isn't it? So I don't see why it wouldn't be. Now I'm saying it, actually, it makes sense. It's like you kiss under it, so it makes sense that it would be used for Valentine's. But, well, every day is a learning day. So we've had a message from Mark who has said that he ordered his this morning from, and it's already shipped, but he's ordered from Eastern US, and he normally gets his deliveries within the week. That is amazing. Well, fingers crossed for you. Within a week, you will be doing your Christmas card making or getting ready for Valentine's. I mean, it's a bit early for that, but you never know. Isn't US Valentine's a different day to ours? They do have different holiday days to us sometimes, don't they? Maybe it's a different, maybe theirs hasn't been yet. And Mark, you could be making Valentine's cards with your mistletoe. If somebody does do that, please send us a picture. I do. I think it would look so nice with the mistletoe on. And especially if, you know, the person you're giving it to loves Christmas. Oh, I think, yeah, it's just ticks all the boxes, isn't it? Right, so I've got Christmas hugs and kisses, and I'm just going to pop this beer in the middle. So Daphne has messaged us saying Carnation is so fast with the delivery. She normally gets hers within six or 7 days, and she's in Canada. That is amazing. That is so good. And thank you guys so much for messaging, because there might be somebody watching that's in Canada and thinks, oh, do you know what? I don't know whether to order, you know, is it going to take so long? So it's so lovely that you message in to say, you know, how good the postage is where you are. So it, you know, if there is somebody sat at home thinking about it, they've got that then from crafters. You know, it's not me going, oh, it'll get there, you know, it'll be there within a week, or it'll be there. So it's actually customers saying to us, you know, how quick that gets there. So thank you so much for that. Right, let's get rid of that because that's gone. Let's just use this. And then the only thing I was going to do is add in, but I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, add in. Oh, I was going to do it the other way, so that's what I was going to do. So I was going to add in just some foliage around there. But if I lift that one up now, so you could have that now stand up like that, which I just think looks unbelievable. Oh, do you know what you could do? You could put another one the other side, cut a bit of cardstock, like a band to go around the bottom, and actually join the two of them together, so they're like that. So you'd have it open, but then the other side would be the same as well. So it's just another way of using it. You know, obviously we could have done the same thing and just use that centre bit. You know, or we could have decorated inside and had that. All I can see is Valentine's cards. I just keep thinking, oh, it does look like a hat. It could be Valentine's, and just, I don't know. I think I need some more coffee. Right. Oh, so Bunny has just told me we are almost at 80% of the stock of this has gone. If you are sitting at home and thinking about this, the price is going to go back up at midnight tonight if the stock is still there. I am just going to say that it does get busy later on in the day when people come home from work and they watch the shows back. So it does get busier later on. So if you do want to grab it while the stock is there and while it's on that great show price for you of $39.99, because that is going to go back up at midnight tonight. That does bring us to the end of our show for today. So thank you so much if you've joined us today, or for messaging in, telling us about your postage. Thank you so much to everybody who's messaged in. Right, Dawn is on Hobby Maker next on Thursday, and then I will be back up here. I feel like it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Me or Bunny aren't sure. I think it's Wednesday. Or was it Tuesday? She's checking. I really want to say Wednesday. She's just agreeing with me. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. See, I knew. Bunny did not. Enveloped in filigree. We will be here in Carnation Crafts TV next Wednesday. So hopefully you can come back and join me and Bunny then for Enveloped in Filigree next Wednesday. Do join Dawn on Hobby Maker on Thursday, and hopefully we will see you next week. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you then.